everyone. This is your girl, Libra Butterfly. You know I'm coming to you from the great state of Kentucky, where the women are beautiful and the horses are fast. Or the horses are beautiful and the women are fast. It just depends on what you darn like. Happy Veterans Day to all the veterans. Thank you for what you do for our country. Shout out to my dad. Not only was he born today, he was also a veteran. Yes, 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 yes. Y'all, I don't care what y'all say. My dad was my black hero. Yes, he was and still is. Get into that. Hey, 300. So yeah, so by him being his birthday today, I was sitting here and I was wet. It's so much stuff going on today. Not bad. It's just so much. It's busy over here today. So while I was sitting here, I started playing on the computer and different people start, sending happy birthday wishes to my daddy. They know he's gone, but a whole lot of sectors been honoring him because he is a big deal. And so it just made me feel good because they've been tagging me also in the sectors that's honoring him. So I'm like, yes, 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 yes. That's what I'm talking about. Yes, I had my own Black Panther. Get into it. So like, share, and subscribe. Shout out to all my butterflies and anybody else who's celebrating a birthday today. Happy birthday to you. Do lottie dottie in every freaking body. Okay. So I really didn't want anything. I just was coming on. I was like, let me talk to my people. Because I know I'm going to be like busy as of tomorrow, Sunday, and all of next week. So I really don't know when I will have time to come back and just do this. Just sit back on my lusciousness with all my chocolatey self over here and just talk to my people. So, so anyway, but yeah, y'all, my dad he was awesome. I'm a daddy's girl, just in case you don't know. Hi, I am Libra Butterfly, aka Coco, and I'm a daddy's girl. Yes, I am. So, and plus, our history is rich. On my mom's side, my mom's mixed with a couple of stuff. You can tell in her pigmentation. My dad, he's mixed with some stuff. You can tell if you look at him, he looks Chinese. I ain't gonna get into that because I'd be telling too much of the business. Anywho, but yeah. Yes, 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 yes. My father also was in natural cures. And he also double doctored. Does that make sense? Like he had 2 doctorate degrees. Yeah, he was an overachiever. Hey, December baby. Thank you, love. Smooches. Yeah, he was, he was an overachiever. Before he passed away, he actually had just got his second doctor's. And I got all of his stuff in my room, and this morning I woke up and I was looking at all his accomplishments that I got. He was on the dean list ever since he entered into college this last time. He was on the dean's list. Dean's list every month. Dean's list. But this is a man also. Y'all gonna let me brag on my daddy for a minute. Because you know what? Black men a lot of times don't get the accolades that they need or that they deserve. We already know it's some ain't it Black men out there, like it's some ain't it Black women. Let's just keep it real. But I feel like the ain't it people always overshadow the ones that are good. So, I want to take some time and just tell you a little bit about my father, especially since it's his birthday. So check this out. This is the same man who actually spoke and wrote 7 different languages. Yeah, my dad spoke and wrote 7 different languages. I'm going to tell you a funny story. I've said this before, but it's been a while ago, so I'm going to say it today. So he lived across the street from his store. This store was owned by some Iraqis, some Arabs or something. I don't know their nationality because I ain't going to say, not trying to be racist, but they do look the same, okay? So anyway, he was in there getting his, little pop, a little this, that, and the other. And he was in the aisles. And, when they know, they feel like because we're African Americans that we don't know what they're saying when they talk in their language, right? And the men that was behind the counter that owns the store, they was talking in their language, whatever it was. And, they was talking about this woman who had walked in, right? And my dad said, she was built and everything. She was a black woman, but she was built and stuff. So, he said when it disturbed him is when they started getting disrespectful in their language. And he was like, when he walked up to the front to pay for his stuff, they were still talking. And my father started talking in their language to them. And it shocked the snot out of them. He said they looked at him like, how you know our language? And he kept talking. And he was telling them, you need to be careful. You down here with us, and we paying y'all high prices to buy stuff in here. Respect us. Like that. And ever since he clowned them in their own language, he could go over and get whatever he want for free. They would just, oh yes, grandmaster, hey, how you doing? No, your money no good here. It's on the house. Like that. So I was like, wow, it just tripped me out. He said, you never know who knows what. It's just best to treat people like you want to be treated. So I'm like, yeah. So that's one story. So then this one right here gets a little racy, y'all. So, okay, my dad was married to a white woman, right? And that was his what? What marriage was that? I don't know. It wasn't his first. So anyway, and they was getting a divorce or no. This is before he married her. They was dating. And so he moved the woman in with him. Well, her husband, because, they was getting a divorce. So her husband at the time threatened my daddy. Okay. And everybody know that's something you just don't do. Right. But he was like, F that nigger. And he called my father everything but his name. Okay, I'm going to take my this and I'm going to blow his brains out and I'm going to hang him from high and we're going to have a barbecue and he talked his stuff. That white man talked his stuff. Do you hear me? My daddy was like, okay. And that's how cool he was. He was like, okay. So my father made his way into that man's house, grabbed him a beer, sat at the table, drank a beer, went in his bedroom, rearranged stuff on the dresser, took his sword that he had with him out, laid it across the man's back. I kid you not. I promise you. Laid it across the man's back, did some other stuff, and then left out of the house. So when this man come calling again, talking about, yeah, tell that nigger I'm a blue, 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 and blue, 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 and all this stuff, my father said, give me the phone. So he took the phone. He said, you're going to do all of that? How you going to do all that in the way you sleep? He told that man everything, told him what he had on that night before. He said, you didn't notice a beer can sitting on your table? He scared the snot out of that Klansman because he was a Klansman. He really was. He scared the snot out of him. Don't you know he ain't say nothing else to my daddy? He didn't even say nothing else to his soon-to-be wife. It was over. I guess it would be. This man done came in your house while you sleeping and done did all this stuff to your house and you woke up and didn't even know it. That's crazy. So anyway, that's why I was like, wow. So, him, and he loved my husband. He loved my husband. My husband was crazy about my daddy. So, but yeah, he was something else. He, his upbringing with his dad was not so good. My granddaddy had a lot of demons that he had to deal with, being Geechee and coming from Trinidadian and all in places over there, they get here, in America and stuff and whatever else happened with him, he had a lot of demons, y'all. And his thing of choice to settle himself a life or whatever, it was alcohol. He was a very bad alcoholic. And for some reason, I guess because my daddy was named after him, he hated my father. He hated him. And my daddy was the second oldest. He was the oldest boy, but he was the second oldest child. And he was named after his father. And, his father hated him. He mistreated him, and everything. His life, and he's gonna be in another book I'm gonna write, but I'm gonna do this as a audio book. Um, this little girl's wearing me to life. Anywho, um, so it just trips me out, what he became. And let me tell you why he said he became what he became. He said it was easy to be a jackass. He said he could have been like his father and been a jackass. He said I could have been. He said, and the way everything was set up, it was set up for me to be just like him. He said, and my father hated me and I hated him. He said, and the one thing I never wanted to be was like him. So every trait that I saw that was like him, I killed it. I mastered it. He said, I got past it. He said, I didn't want anything that resembled my dad in me. Okay. And everything. So that's how he ended up in martial arts and became the biggest, that there is in 5 surrounding states. He was over there in the whatever them little small countries that Bruce Lee was at, and his sensei. I got his sensei papers. I got everything of my daddy's. I was looking at it this morning, and everything. So and it just tripped me out because like my granddaddy, his daddy, he died before I was born. So they would always tell us about him, and I seen pictures of him and all this and stuff, and he actually died of cirrhosis of the liver on his own because my grandmother threw him out. She's like, she can't take it. She couldn't take it. She ain't gonna take it. So she threw him out, and wherever he went, that's where he went, and he died of cirrhosis of the liver. And so, like I said, to me, it's a rags to riches story because, like I said, my father had to, make up in his mind, I'm either going to be a jackass like my daddy was, or even I'm going to get it together and take this world the way I know I can. And so that's what he did. That's what he did. He couldn't stand men who beat women. He couldn't stand a man who mistreat women. He couldn't stand, that's just his pet. That was 2 of his pet peeves. He hated it. He hated it, and I think that's why he always, kind of like, okay, let me just be honest. As far as I'm concerned, he would always, our conversations was real and raw. I know a lot of people don't talk to their parents about their sex life and all this and stuff. I could talk to my daddy about anything, and I did, because the men in my life, the real men, not the ones that was trying to screw me, but the real men in my life was so insightful and they were so intelligent. And I loved having conversations because they would actually show me from a man's point of view. And my daddy said, you know what's so bad? He said, it's bad and it's good at the same time. He said, you think like a man. He said, even though you're very much a woman, he said, you think like a man. He said, and you see he said, you will see a jokester from a mile away. He said, and you one of them like this. You'll play as long as you feel like it. But when you get tired, it's a wrap. He said, I was like, he said, I done taught, he said, I done made a monster out of you. I done taught you, and you a monster. He said, you see it from a mile off, and you'll play as long as they play until you get tired and be like, you know what? I'm back, like that. So, and that's true, y'all. The men in my family, I don't know what it was about me, but the men in my family wanted to make sure that I was sharp as a pencil. They would tell me all these kind words and just different things and different scenarios that, men would say to women to try to get what they want and all this and stuff. And so I became a master at listening. And it is true. I can see stuff from Maldo and I just be cracking up like, you really think you got me, don't you? Okay. All right. Because when it don't make sense, if it don't make dollars, it don't make sense. Let's just go there. For real. And some things I listen to and I go, oh, okay. And in the back of my mind, I'll be like, you are stupid. You are real. If you think this is going to work, something wrong with you. But I'll just let people live in their fantasy. So, hey. Anywho, and so we each one, like I said, y'all, he taught each one of us a skill. I just so happen to have two. Don't know why, but I have two. And he wanted each, especially his girls, he wanted us to know how to defend ourselves without defending ourselves. Um, so yeah. Um, and me, I had his temper. So with me having his temper and my mama's temper, he really had to teach me self-control. And that's the truth. I had a horrible temper. I mean horrible. A horrible. I didn't like me when I got mad. You know what I'm saying? So once I mastered it, and it was something he said to me, that when I heard people trying to trigger me, I laugh now because I see what you're trying to do. Anytime somebody think it's funny to play with my emotions, to play with something I've conquered, and it's funny, to you, that's a red flag for me. Especially if I say this, if I say, orange pop, it really does something to me. So I can't deal with orange pop. I can't smell it, can't be around it, can't touch it or nothing. And for your enjoyment, you go get the orange pop and drink it around me. I put the can on me because you think it's funny. See, I watch stuff like that. If I tell you up front what I don't like, because a lot of times, especially men tell women, y'all play too many games. Just say what you mean. Just say what you mean. But I'm realizing that when most men meet women and who say exactly what they mean, they don't know how to take it. It's like, don't tell me what you mean. Act like you're telling me what you mean, but beat around the bush because I can't take you telling me what you mean. And what? So yeah, they don't work for us. It don't work for us up here. We don't do that. We say exactly what we mean. Mm-hmm. If I tell you, you don't piss me off, you don't piss me off. If I tell you, you're a jackass, you're a jackass. So, if I tell you, hey, you one of my buds, you one of my buds. I mean, I don't get that. I just don't, I don't have time. Friend, twin, automobile. I don't have time for none of it, So let's just say what we mean to mean what we say. Point blank, end the period, So yeah, I will give my dad that. He did teach me how to mellow out my temper. He was always afraid of something bad not happening to me, but that I would do something to somebody. I remember when I threw a knife when I threw a knife at my husband. We laughed about it after years later because it wasn't funny. I was so, and I say this, and when I say this, I'm not bragging. I was at the point so surgical with a knife that my husband for 3 years straight wouldn't allow me to, even when we went to the store, he was like, no, we couldn't even walk past knives. He did anything I needed cutting up. If it wasn't a butter knife, he cut it. Seriously, because my temper was crazy. My temper was crazy. And when I threw that knife, he could see, because my husband didn't know that I'm certified in swords and knives. And so when I picked that thing up and said, shoo, like that, it scared the crap out of him. And I mean, when he took out running, he ran. He ended up calling my mama and my daddy. And my daddy said, she did what? Because my daddy knew. He taught me. So he knew. He came over to the house. Me and him had a conversation over a cup of coffee, so yeah. And my daddy could talk to me and I would cry. That's pitiful. My mama could beat me upside my head and I would hold them tears in as long as I could. But my daddy could just sit and talk to me and tears would just flow. I mean, it would hurt my little feelings, honey. I would just be boo-hooing, so he was like, you got to quit that. I said, tell him to leave me alone. He said, no, that's not how we deal. We talk, remember? We talk. We don't cut people. And I'm like, oh, thank you, Lord, for changing me. Oh, gosh. It's so funny. I swear, y'all, I think back about it. And like I said, before my husband passed away for years, we talked about them incidents and laughed. He was like, I ain't know you was that good. He said, I know you kept on saying, don't mess with me with no knife. He said, when your daddy told me you certified, he said that you are really registered. He said, I was like, the hell? I cracked up. I said, yeah, I'm sorry. So I did apologize to him though, because like I told him, he actually, my husband, I will say this. My husband, I was telling my kids yesterday, I said, you know what, your daddy is the reason why I am like I am, calm. I said, because he taught me how to be calm. And the way that he taught me how to be calm, he loved me through my storm. It was easier for him to just say, you know what, F you, and walk away. But he knew who I was. He knew what he wanted out of me. He knew I was a good person, but I had been hurt. And he understood that. And like he told my father, I'm going to love her through it. He said, I love her. He said, when I saw her, I knew it was my wife. He said, and I'm going to love her through it. I ain't going nowhere. And that's what he kept telling my daddy. I ain't going nowhere. You know, and everything. I think that's why my mama loved him too, because they knew my temper was just like they didn't mess with me. And that was good. But they didn't mess with me. They was like, not that one. Not that one. We ain't even gonna play like that, because So, you know, I'm just grateful that the two strongest men in my life, you know, they saw my heart and loved me through it, you know, especially when I was unlovable. Let's just keep it real. At that time, I was so unlovable because I was mean as hell. And I mean exactly what I'm saying. I was mean, quiet and mean. You know, I laughed, don't get me wrong, but you could still tell that mean streak on me. That would be, you know, yeah. So, but I heads off to my dad, you know, because like I said, he paved the road in front of me because, you know, at certain times, them dark nights, sometime for him, he would end up in a bottle. Not all the time. I can only remember twice, but you know, it was legendary. And the only person that could calm him down was me. Anytime he got like that, you know, like I said, it was only been a couple times, somebody would say, call his daughter, you know, and they would get in touch with me somehow. And I'm like, yeah, that's my daddy. They're like, he is out of control right now. We don't know what to do. We scared, you know. And I'm like, I'm on my way, you know. And so I would calm him down. Even when he was in the hospital once, you know, they had to put policemen in there, which they still couldn't hold my daddy. My daddy is a ninja. No, man, we ain't gonna get into that. Anywho, he was in the hospital and, you know, they was like, he just wouldn't. He wouldn't let me. They was just. So his sister said, only person I know that he'll calm down for is his daughter. We're going to have to find her and get in touch with her. And one of my cousins knew exactly where I was. They called me. I said, woo, what? Long time no heard from you? Your daddy. That's all they had to say. I said, what's wrong? Where is he? And they told me. I said, don't tell him I'm coming. I'm coming, though. I came down the highway of the hospital. I could hear him acting a fool. I mean, he was acting a fool. And I heard my auntie say, good, we got some help, because she seen me, right? And so I walked on down, and I walked in while he was in the midst. I said, what are you doing? Baby girl. So he kept on saying, baby girl. And I'm not the baby, hello. But to him, I'm baby girl. Even though I got little sisters and stuff, I'm still baby girl. He don't even call them baby girl. He called me baby girl. So, you know, I got in there, I got to talking to the doctor, calming him down, you know, and all this and all that and stuff. And it was, I asked him later on, I said, why you get like it? And so he explained to me, like I said, it's only 2 times. So, you know, but he explained to me, but he made me a promise that he said he would never put himself in that situation again, because that's something else that he would conquer. And he did. You know, he said, just seeing you does something to me when I'm in, you know, rare form like that. He said, I'm like, not her. Because everybody say I'm his twin, that I act just like him. So, you know, he's like, nah, I can't do it to her. So, yeah, you know, it's just, I'm excited about my journey. And I have to give homage to those who came before me to help me be the woman that I am now. As I stated, I have 2 intelligent parents. My mother hated school. She hated school, even though she went to college. Oh, sorry, I thought I heard somebody else say. My dad, like I told y'all, he had 2 doctorate degrees. He also started a business. He's actually started 3 businesses that was very successful. Um, it's just I could talk on and on and on and on and on about my father. I really can. I don't want to bore y'all, but every time I see, oh, what is that movie? It's a martial arts movie. Ip Man, Ip Man. Every time I see Ip Man, it reminds me of my dad. One of those pictures that I posted on my community wall, it looks like, okay, he is on one foot and the dude is on the ground. He was demonstrating a lock hold, and the dude, and the dude didn't know that my dad could do that. He was like, I'll volunteer. And that's why my dad, he took him down in the lock hole with one leg. My dad was the stuff. He was the stuff. And only when let me see, how did we do this? He was hard on me to build character and to build structure. Like I told you, because I was my temper was something else. And I had already been to jail. For those of y'all didn't know, I'd already been to jail. And I had been to jail for fighting. And I had been to jail for fighting because I was at Kmart. I don't know if y'all remember that story. I mean, that store, but I was at Kmart. And, it had went too far. It had went too far. And my daddy told me, he said, it's gone too far now. Now you're getting locked up in the stores. I wonder what he would say now, because that's people fight everywhere now on the tour bus and the store, restaurant. They don't care. They get it on. So, when I did get out of jail, I was forced. Y'all hear me, don't you? Let me say that again. On the condition of me getting out of JALE, I was forced to stay with my daddy. Your Honor, it's the only way I get to get out. Seriously, is if I. Hold on, y'all. Let me let this little girl in. She done got on my nerves. Okay, y'all. She's got her help with her getting her bed so she can move in her own apartment. They've been moving for a while, so. Anywho, but I was like, Your Honor, that's the only way I can. He said, "Yep." So I was forced, y'all, to stay with my daddy. I can't even. Man, y'all don't even understand what that was like. Imagine staying with somebody whose temper is worse than yours and who got a streak that I don't give a uck. You gonna do what I say? And you know you can't whoop and you better not try. Yeah, and believes in corporal punishment of the worst kind. Cause he went over and was with them Chinese and stuff people and they, yeah, I learned real quick. Who the baddest dog in the yard was. Trust me. And it wasn't me. It wasn't me. Who? I tapped out fast. I'm like, okay. So yeah. But I'm grateful for those lessons. I really am grateful for those lessons. And like I said, before he passed away, he was, getting into natural cures as well. And like I said, he's the one who really piqued my curiosity in him. Um, and it's funny because nothing else could take this man out. But he went out of here, if I got the diagnosis correct, he actually went out of here with hepatitis, a form of hepatitis. And that's what took him out. Wasn't a bullet, wasn't a sword, wasn't nobody else. He actually passed away due to hepatitis. And that's weird to me, Um, that day, I remember just like it was yesterday. I don't cry anymore about it because I'm acclimated to it now. But it was so weird that day. I was starting a new gig, and I was on the expressway. And let me give you a backstory. Okay, so me and my deceased husband's wedding day is May the 2nd, right? We got married on Derby. If you don't know what Derby is, look up Kentucky Derby, go from there. So we got married on Derby, but it was Derby Day, which is on a Saturday. And I said, I got a feeling I need to go see my daddy. And he was like, well, babe, let's go. So y'all, in the city of Louisville, on Derby Day, it's almost impossible to get like from one side of the town to another because they got so many detours, they got so many blocks, and all this and stuff for this one day. And so we kept getting turned around and turned around and turned around. It wore me out. I was like, forget it. We'll just come back tomorrow. And my husband was like, okay, tomorrow being Sunday. So I forgot what happened Sunday. We didn't get a chance to go Sunday. So Monday, I'm on the expressway starting my job. I'm thinking, well, I talked to him, on my break. And so as I'm right on the expressway, my cousin calls me and was like, hey, what you doing? I said, hey, I'm on the expressway, and I said, I'm driving to work. He said, where at? I said, on the expressway. And he said, I got something to tell you, pull over. And when he said that, I was like, no, hold on, y'all. Okay, I'm sorry. My daughter came up here talking to me. Hey, Callie love, what's up, smooches? Thank you. So he was like, pull over. And I'm like, no, just tell me what's going on. He said, no. He said, pull over. I said, tell me, I hate that. Like it. So when I said that, he said, dang. He said, they found your daddy dead in his house this morning. Y'all, I can't even tell you how I felt. So I'm driving, and I forgot I'm driving. I went hysterical. I went tunnel vision and everything. I could hear him holler, pull over, pull over, like that. And I was like, no, I gotta get to my daddy. I gotta get to my daddy. I gotta get to my daddy. Y'all. So anyway, fast forward the story. I get over to his apartment. He living in a townhouse. But anyway, I got over to where he was living at. And as I pulled up, I could see some people standing outside. So when I got out of the truck, his neighbor said, you must be Henry's daughter. Like that. He said, I'm so sorry. I passed straight out. Straight out. I guess that adrenaline just left, like, you know. And yeah, it was really, really crazy. So the same cousin, he showed up, with my daddy's sisters and all this and stuff. And my husband, they said they called him because they didn't know what to do. So he was on his way. And my cousin was like, you want to go in here? I said, yeah. Because we was waiting on the maintenance guy to come and let us in. It seemed like he was taking forever. And I don't know. And he was like, yeah. I was like, yeah. This dude climbs up the daggone building like a monkey, gets on the little port in front of my daddy's window, pushes the air conditioner out the window, climbs through and opened up the door and said, come on in. I was like, if I didn't witness this, I wouldn't think he did this. For real. He climbed that wall like a monkey. I was like, oh my goodness. So y'all, when I went in my dad's, now you have to know my father. He's a Scorpio. Scorpios are very meticulous. They are very anal when it comes to their how they live. They are the sign that will dot the I and cross the T. They do not play with dirt, dust, or nothing. Do you hear me? I mean, my dad was so anal, and I used to tell him, Dad, you anal. Watch your mouth. I mean, he could walk in the room and realize his painting is lopsided or off a little bit. And I'm like, ain't nothing wrong with that. He said, yes, it is. Let me get my ruler. And he would get his receipt. See, it's a quarter of the centimeter of the book. Huh? That's how he was. He had that eye. And when I went in, I knew he had been sick for a minute because that was not my father's place. It was not his place. And he tried to keep that from me because I remember I said, Daddy, you okay? Because I had called him like a week before. And I was like, Daddy, you okay? He said, yeah, baby, why you ask that? I said, because, I'm feeling kind of funny. He said, no, I'm okay. I'm okay. And I said, no, something wrong. I said, I'm on my way. And usually my daddy, he's like, okay. He's like, no, I'm okay. You ain't got to come. It was red flag number one. My daddy don't want me to come. Oh, no, I'm really coming now. So my husband's like, come on, let's go, because it don't sound like dad. I'm like, I know, right? So I ends up over there, and I tell my husband, I said, let me go up by myself, just in case. He said, okay. So he said, just holler at me if you need me. I'm like, okay. So I goes up the steps, and I do my signature knock, and he's like, hold on, baby, And he came to the door and would let me in. And I know I can come in the palace. I'm just busy right now, and everything. And I mean, he would not let me in. I was like, that is not my daddy. What's going on? And then I looked at him. I said, Daddy, what's wrong? Nothing. Ain't nothing wrong, baby. Nothing wrong. Give me a hug. He hugged me and all this and stuff. And I was like, this is off. This is off. So anyway, I was like, well, here, Daddy. He's like, I don't want your money. Here, Daddy. So I put some money in his hand. I said, go get you some cigarettes and some coffee. It's the only dad you got, cigarette and coffee. He started laughing. And every time I said, don't forget, we got a coffee date. Like, yeah. He said, we sure do. So, it just tripped me out. I told my husband, because he said, where my son? I said, right there. So, my husband waved at him and everything. He said, hey, Pops. He said, hey, son. Like that. And y'all, it didn't, and my husband knows me. He knows me. As soon as I got to the car, he said, it don't set right what you do it. I said, no. He said, I ain't think so. He said, because it ain't dad. He said, well, he called him Pops. He said, it ain't Pops. He said, because anything Pops be trying to keep you in the house. I'm like, I know. Like he said, well, maybe it'll come out. Well, who knew that a week later he would be dead, y'all? So what happened was he was already sick. He just didn't want me to see that he was sick. He didn't want me to see it because he knew, right? I would have told him, if you don't get in this car so I can take you to the hospital, don't talk to me no more. It would have put him in the car because I can't whoop him. So that would have put him in the car, But he didn't want me to know he was sick. So I'm just like, wow. But anyway, they did a benefit program for my dad. It was awesome. Martial arts people from around the world came to honor my dad. And I was so excited. I was like, ah! Some of these women that's in these big time martial arts movies that y'all be watching, I got autographed pictures of them. Some of these men that do stunt doubles for like, what is his name? Steven Seagal. And all of that. And then my husband and Chuck Norris are good friends, so they did this benefit thing for him. It was bananas. It was bananas. And I was just like, wow, my daddy's the real deal. He's the real deal. And, people was like, nobody has done it like him. He actually came from nothing and made a name for himself. He came from nothing, and they told a little bit of his story and all this and stuff. And just to know what stock I come from, dude, I think that's why my self-esteem has never been an issue. I think because he's always called me his black China doll, always. And, I've never felt inferior to a light skin, dark skin, fat, small. Even when I was at my heaviest of 308, I still didn't feel inferior to somebody that was smaller than me. I was like, and do you know who I am? I will tell you the only thing that bothered me at the time, and I didn't know how powerful it was, and I didn't know from what it came from, is that when I was younger, I found out that my eyes changed, right? And, when you're a kid, the last thing you want to do is stand out, so other kids can, have something to say. And I didn't understand it. And I wasn't the only one. It was me, my cousin, the one who broke in my dad's house for me, my dad, his brother, my granddad, and somebody else. And it may go on from there, but I'm just telling you the ones that I was told. Now, some of them I saw, but I didn't know about my granddaddy because, like I said, he passed away. My dad's dad passed away before I was born. But I was told that his eyes changed a lot, So I didn't understand that because the only people's eyes I know that changed was cats, And it was like, I don't know. I just, even to this day when I talk about it sometimes, I still have a hard time accepting it, And I even got pictures of And it's funny when I take pictures now, my eyes still look funny. They look funny, I'm like, hey, like they be having like twinkles or whatever. I mean, it just looks funny. But back then it was so noticeable that I couldn't hide it if I tried. And I tried. I would look at people in their eye, because I was afraid that, yesterday my eyes was this color and then it's a Saturday. It's a Friday and now my eyes is, what I'm saying? So that's the only thing that I really had an issue with growing up, What I did find out that is when I'm very excited or very pissed off, they do that now. Like instead of just cause it's Friday changing, it just only when I'm very, very excited or when I'm very, very pissed off. And my husband, God rest his soul, he used to tell people, if you want to see how pissed she is, watch her eyes. He said, that's all you got to do. He said, that'll tell you. He said, even if she has a smile on her face, don't look at that because that's deceiving. Watch her eyes because her eyes tell everything, like that and stuff. And so, it's weird. So anywho, I'm going to show a picture of my uncle one day and y'all gonna be like, what in the world is going on with him? He is pitch black, blackety black. He can leave a streak on chalk. That's how black he is. But his eyes, yeah, something totally different. Scary as heck. Scary. And, but that's our legacy. That's who we are, So, hey, that's who we are. So I guess I'm saying good, better, and different. You have to love on yourself and you have to accept who you are. You know what I'm saying? It's people whose life was worse than mine. I had bad events to happen, but there's some people whose life was worse. Like our family was able to be honest and say, you know what, growing up, I was spoiled. I really was. I didn't think I was. What y'all think they spoiled, But as I sit back and I look at stuff and everything, I was really spoiled. And not in a bad way, where, because I still got whooping and everything. But I'm talking about as far as what my parents did for me and my grandparents and uncles and stuff. Like, My thing was, like, I had one auntie, God rest her soul. Miss Moneybags. Okay. So anytime she went and bought her something expensive, she felt like that I had to have it too. And like when she went and bought her some, I forgot what type of carat earrings it was. It was some type of diamond carat earrings, but they was expensive. She went and bought me a pair, to go in my little ears, and I was like 4 years old, walking around with diamonds in my ear. My grandmother, she for me, she bought me a sapphire ring and gold band with a sapphire that sits on it. What I need with that as a kid, but that's what they did. Bought me gold chains. And at the time, this company called Agnes was a reputable, big time company. I wore Agnes belts, Agnes penny loafers, Agnes boots. And fur. I had a fur from the time I was 4 years old to the time I was in middle school, and then the time I was in high school, going to school in a real fur. You know, it was weird. Leather coats, and all this. And I lived in the projects. The two don't match. The two don't match. Here's a project chick coming to school dressed to the nines. Okay. And people living in the houses is looking at me like, how she afford all that? And it wasn't even me, it was my family. It was like, even when it came to different foods or whatever, like my family used to take me to it was this place called Fifth Quarters here in Kentucky. That was a very, very, very expensive restaurant. Well, they wanted me to taste a steak. That's what they said. Don't you want to try a steak? Hamburger was good for me. I'm like, no. Well, we're gonna go to Fifth Quarters. You have your first steak. So we go to Fifth Quarters. I'm sitting down there. I'm about what, 6 or 7? This man come out this big old ribeye covering up the whole plate. And y'all expect me to eat that? It was good though. But y'all expect me to eat that? I'm just saying. I'm just saying. You know, at the time, Ponderosa was kicking her, and so was Sizzler. Those was two of the nicest restaurants. And here I am sitting there with the grown people cutting up my steak and all this and stuff. Y'all. So I'm just saying, Lord, why did she take it outside? What is wrong with this woman? Yeah, my baby girl, I think she want me to choke her. I really do. I think she's asking for a good choking. Um, I'm almost ready to give it to her. You get a choke, you get a choke, you get a choke. I'm almost ready to choke her to sleep so she can get some good night's sleep. Cause she don't want, that one nerve that you got that's kind of covered and, it's covered and you trying to keep it tucked away because, you don't want nobody. That's that one last nerve you got, so you like, I'm trying to hold my nerve and everything. She actually is tap dancing on that one nerve that I have left. And I'm trying to endure her until she get all the crap out of my house. Then I can shut down. I already told her, as of tomorrow, as of Sunday, and any other day next week, don't text me, don't call me. I ain't going nowhere. I'm not doing anything. It's a wrap. Finish all your crap today because I ain't doing it. Okay. So we got that understanding. And I mean that. Because that last nerve now, I just got some coffee today. Don't y'all know I went all day yesterday without any coffee? It's a shame and a sin. We don't do it. I went all day without coffee yesterday, and I was irritable as heck. I said, I know what's wrong. I don't have no coffee. Okay, because a hug can turn into a headlock at any moment without coffee. So y'all need to tread lightly. Tread lightly. So today, I'm making up for it. I'm on my second cup. And I'm going to enjoy my second cup of coffee without that little girl dancing on my nerves. Because right now, she tiptoed on my nerves. Oh, Miss Thing in my Kimmy's voice. I have mercy. Oh, okay, now that I got that out, I'm better. Plus, I need her to hurry up because my baby boy at 7 o'clock is taking me on a date. He said, Mama, We going such and such a place. So pick me up from work because I'm treating my mama tonight. See, it don't get no better than that. When your child wants to treat you, I'm in it. I'm all about that life. All about it. So, oh my goodness. And she's tapping on. Anybody want a baby girl? I'm giving her away for free. For real. You ain't gotta pay me no money. All you gotta do is come and get her. And she ain't even live with me no more. She's moving in her own apartment as we speak. But that's okay. That's technicalities. Come and get her. Take her with you. She's good. You know what I'm saying? A little off, but she all right. She all right. You know, y'all can have baby girl. I'll pass it out to y'all. Y'all can have her. Shoot. Getting on my nerves. I miss my nail appointment messing with her. We don't do that. We don't do that. Missing no nail appointments. Dag nabbit. Cause foo-foo, she don't like nobody to miss her appointment. When you set an appointment with her, she get mad. You don't show up. Now I'm going to have to go in there and act like I like her and slip her a little $5 tip to forget that I missed my appointment. Oh, Lord. See what I'm saying, y'all? It's just been busy. Now the little girl just text me talking about, Mama, I put my box spring outside. Can you watch it? Where's the box spring going to go? Who going to pick up a box spring from out this private property in white man land? Because where we live at, it's only 2 black families on the street, and I'm one. The rest of them is Snow White and the 7 Dwarfs. Do you hear what I'm saying? Nobody comes on nobody's property. We all got security cameras. All of us. So, who gonna take your box spring? I'm like, oh, girl, bothering me. Anyway, and then did I tell y'all her apartments? They are 5 minutes away from my house. 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 away from my house. And her friend made me know too. They was like, Mom, we close to you now. Dang, you sure are. She got a nice apartment though, y'all. I went in it yesterday. Oh my goodness, it is beautiful. It really is. She wanted me to come in and pray through it and stuff. So, you know, that's what Mama did. I took my holy oil, went around her house praying and everything. She's like, yes, then I'm okay. She said, you don't know, girl, my mama got to pray through stuff. I can't move nowhere. My mama ain't prayed. I was cracking up, and I know her friend was looking like, huh? Girl, it's a God thing. Just go on. None of my kids move in their place without calling their mama. Be like, Mom, can you come pray in my house? So I'm like, Lord, here I come. I get to my oil, honey, and we be on. We be on our way. I come armed and dangerous. Let me see. Don't put your hands on baby girl. Whatever. Shoot, you come and get her. I'm like, man. So what else? My son, let me tell you how, and y'all, I know y'all heard my message. Some of y'all that listen to me, I was talking about my kids, right? That the older ones is mad at the 2 youngest ones and all this and stuff. And so they call themselves being mad at me. And I was like, scratch your A and get glad because I don't care. I'm one of them. I don't care. So anywho, my son, my oldest son, let me tell you, kids know. They may play that game, but they know. He calls me on the phone from work. Mama, yeah, you busy? Not really. What's up? He said, Mom, I need you to pray for me. For real. I need you to pray for me. And this is what's going on. See what I'm saying? God got away. God's got away. That's why I don't get mad. I'm telling y'all, I don't get mad. When I tell y'all, I'm letting him work this thing out. I'm letting him work this thing out, baby. Because you don't need me now, but you will need me later. That is my phrase. You don't need me now, but you will need me later. You will. Because, see, not every mother's a praying mother. You just so happen to have one that'll go before the Lord on your behalf. Now, my baby boy, he already told somebody, he said, man, I don't play with that. When I need a prayer to go, he said, I need a prayer to go through. He said, I'm only 10% Christian on days. He trips me out when he says stuff like that. He said, I'm only 10% Christian on days, but I know who I can call. He said, I call my mom in a heartbeat, like, Mama, can you pray? He said, she said, sure can. He said, my mama can be asleep and then wake up and say, what's wrong? He said, so I don't play with that. He said, I know. He said, I know I ain't crap. He said, I ain't got over being 50% Christian yet. He's stupid. That boy makes me laugh. I love my son. He makes me laugh. But honey, just keep praying. Keep praying for your kids. I'm serious. I am so serious. You know, and like they say, yeah, God will humble people quick, won't he? And yeah, so they know today's their granddaddy's birthday too, and everything. I just hate that this generation really doesn't have a sense of, how can I say it? They don't have a sense of wanting to know where they come from. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like when I was younger, I wanted to know where my daddy was from, where his daddy was from, where my grandmother was from. You know, I wanted to know the history of our family. This generation, they ain't too concerned about that. You know, when you get to talking and you say, yeah, because such and such and such was the first one that did such and such, and he's in history book. They're like, oh, for real? They don't even know the stock that they come from. And that's sad, because no matter how much we try to put in them or in our children that you need to know your history, how do you, and this is a true saying, how do you know where you're going if you never know where you've been? You have to know the shoulders that you stand on to reach your next level. You know, and I never wanted to be the one that didn't know something about my history. You know, even when you go to the doctor, they want to know about your history. They'll say, okay, your mom, did she have high blood pressure, diabetes? Was she this? Was she that? Okay, how about your dad? Do you know? I mean, so if the doctors want to know your history, hello, to find out your future, supposedly, why don't you want to know? That's what I don't get. Everybody wants to know your history and you okay with that, but you don't want to know your history. It's important that you have to know and that you should know where you come from. And I'm going to tell you something else. You need to know where you come from and who you kin to, because you'll end up dating each other. Ask me how I know. You know, the other day I was talking to a baby girl, her friend. I took them to the laundromat. And we was talking. I said, my family's big. I'm subject to bump into a cousin at any time. As soon as I said it, no lie, I turned to the left. I said, look like my cousin Mika. They said, Mama. I said, she turned around. She said, Cuz. I said, told you. I said, that's how big the family is. My mama's one of her first cousins, one of them has 36 kids. And that's no exaggeration. 36, one of her cousins. And he is the son, and he's got 9 siblings. My mama's cousin, the one cousin I'm talking about, because we got plenty, but the one I'm talking about, he's one of 9 siblings. He has 36 kids. One of his brothers got 10 kids. Another one of his brothers got 6. He also has, let me see, him. Then he's got his sisters. I think one of his sisters has 1 child. She's underachiever. And the rest of them have like between 5, 7, 8. And that's just one sibling group. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's 10 of my mama them. It's 10 of my mama them. It's 15 of my daddy them. Our family is just big. It's just really, really, really big. And then my grandmother, them, if you take on both sides, my grandmother's mother, which is my great grandmother, it was 25 of them. And then they had kids. Come on, quit playing. Quit playing. Our family's huge. I mean, huge. So, you know, you got to know who you come from, because them people had kids. And then them people had kids. I've had kids. So you see what I'm saying? Like, You know, I've had 9. I got a cousin who's had 12 and counting. They're on their 12th child and they're counting. They're expecting another one. And they're younger than me. They married, but they're younger than me. And on their 12th child, girl, expect another one. I mean, it's just the one thing we can do is produce. Our eggs are fertile. Our sperm is fertile. So when my husband, when he met me, he said, I want a son, but me and old girl we couldn't conceive. So I doubt if you will. I said, baby, I'm so fertile, you can blow on me and have a child. I said, that's my legacy. I be daggone. What happened? Here comes son number 1. Your family can produce children. Yes, we can. Yes, we can. Which is a blessing because a lot of people though want kids that can't have them. You know, and I feel sorry for them. But I used to tell people, and this is a true story. I told this girl, I said, if you want a child, let me pray for you. I guarantee you, if I lay my hands on your stomach, you'll get pregnant. I guarantee it. I know some people don't believe in faith like that and all this stuff. You got to know your ministry. I know my ministry, and I know the gifts that God has given me. So I don't play around with that. If I tell you, if I lay my hands on you, something gonna happen, it'll happen. It will. So, anywho, I just, wanted to shout out my dad today. Like I said, he's my hero. He's my Black hero. He is my Black Panther. Speaking of, it comes out tonight, but I won't be to see it until tomorrow. I'm excited. I'm going to the movies and then out to eat. So, and I got something else to do tomorrow too. I don't know how I'm gonna fit this nail appointment in the morning, because I'm gonna have to get up real early and try to be out there to foo them, so I can get my nails did. And then I got something to do at, I think it's 11:30 a.m. I'm supposed to be somewhere, and then after that, it's movie at 3 p.m. and then dinner. So, oh gosh. So much to do, so little time, y'all. So little time. And I have such a dilemma. Let me just say it like this. Okay, so I have a business proposition and contract that I agreed to. Well, the first one I was waiting on took so long that I took this one because I knew I had certain things I had to do before a certain time. So I'm like, okay, let me go ahead and agree to do this. And, that's it. Because they couldn't give me a time when we would sit down and discuss my contract. Just the first people. Okay. So I went on with somebody else. Well, as lo and behold, my contract starts next week, right? We already worked out the details and all this. Praise God. God is so good. Okay, so, but I got a call today from the first ones that offered me a contract. They called me today. So they sent me an email after me and her talk as a confirmation email. And if I seen anything in the contract that was not correct, I'm supposed to let them know, shoot it back to them so they can, adjust it. And then I sign off on it. Y'all, what the heck am I going to do? Because I can't do both. And that's the truth. I can't do both. So I don't know what I'm going to do. This is something I was going to talk to my mom, but she had an MRI today and she don't feel good. So I'm not going to worry her. I'll probably wait till she wake up and me and her talk. If not, then I get with her Sunday, after Sunday school. But, I guess this is a good problem to have because I could not be on demand, you know what I'm saying? But it's oh my goodness. That's a blessing, not a curse, to produce life. Yeah. I just, I don't want no more kids, and I'm glad I can't have no more. But I would love to go and sniff a baby and give it back. I'm still on that. I need to hold and sniff a baby and then give it back, and I'll be over it. Because I'm at that point where I just need to sniff a baby. That's it. Ooh, I just had a godchild. I just not realized that. Uh-oh. I'm gonna have to call Krista and ask her to let me have her grandbaby for a day, so I can sniff and change the pamper and feed it and send it back. Yes, that'll work. I just thought about that. You just had a whole godchild, girl. So, okay, well that does that. I get to sniff a baby. Yay! So, and I gotta get these pampers. Y'all, I tell you, kids are expensive. If you ain't had none by now, I wouldn't want none, that's for sure. Kids are expensive. So I gotta go and get these pampers. What else I say I was supposed to get? Let me see. A big thing of pampers, some bibs, some wipes, and some baby lotion. Ooh, child. My baby 19, and ooh, Lord. That would be a curse if I go to the doctor and they tell me, you're expecting. First of all, it'd be a miracle because I'm like, my husband been dead ever since 2021, and this is 2022. Can you tell me how I had a child in that long? I ain't no elephant. So that would be a miracle. Second, I would be a rich miracle because they, not only did they tap my tubes, they also clipped and burnt them and put silver tabs on them. So if I'm having a baby, it means somebody got to get sued. So I'd be a millionaire for real then. So, those are two questions I would have to ask. When did that happen? Because again, the last time I had some SCX was in 2021 before September. And we in 2022. This week we're going to 2023. So to say that I'm back, we ain't gonna get into that. But just trust me. Trust me. It's been a minute. I'm a renewed virgin. And you can be a renewed virgin. I don't care what you say. I'm a renewed virgin. I really will be a renewed virgin, y'all, because think about it. I ain't had no other man in my life for 30 years. I've had one peen for 30 years. That's saying something. So now, and I haven't had that since August of 2021. And here we are, November of 2022? Oh yeah, by the time I say I do again, honey, Lord, today. That's all I can say. But I'm looking forward to it. I really am. I'm looking forward to it. Yep. Because that's the only way I'm going to have it is if I say I do. I don't care what nobody else do with their life. It ain't my ministry. I can only take care of me and watch out for me. I ain't looking at nobody else's peen or they puss. Trust. I'm looking at mine. So yeah. Waiting for that day. I really am. I told y'all when I do say I do, I ain't going to tell y'all before. I tell you after. It's only two people that's going to know that I'm going to get married. And I'll tell y'all the two, Real Mamas and Unbothered Mimi. Them the only two. They gonna know before I get married because they got to drill the dude. After that, yes, they my sissies. They gonna drill the dude. And Unbothered Mimi, you can't get past her with nothing. She's that quiet listener. Real Mama, she gonna just tell you up front, look, dude, let me say, so yeah. So when I get to that point and they drill the person and they give me back, they findings and stuff, then I'm gonna come over here and be like, okay, y'all meet my new husband. Other than that, nope. That's how we doing that. So and what's so funny, y'all, I'm so comfortable right now in who I am. I'm so comfortable just, learning me that okay, this happened yesterday. And this always happened, but I'm telling you recently. This happened yesterday. So I was picking up baby girl and her friend, and they was loading stuff in my SUV. And I wasn't paying no attention. I had on my hat like I normally do. I either have a hat on or a wrap, whatever. And I had my hat on, had my sunglasses. I was sitting there playing on my phone, right? And this person was bringing out these boxes. I mean, he was toting these boxes, boy, And because I'm from the streets, I'm from the project, so I see things without seeing things. If y'all understand what that is, if you know, you know. So anyway, my daughter said, "Mama, what is it? What is it with you and these short, stout men?" I was like, "Huh? What are you talking about?" She said, I said, honey, I only like one short, stout man, and he's no longer with me. And she said, what his name is? And so I said my husband's name. She said, right, like it. And I started laughing. I said, what are you talking about? She said, yeah, I have to watch him because he like you. Watch who? Yeah, I promise you. I didn't know she was talking about that man. I said, watch who? She said his name. She said, right there. I said, girl, that man don't know me. He don't like me. You think everybody like me. She said, no, mama, he really does. She said, no, he told us. He really does. No, I'll pass. She said, thank you. I said, yeah, I'll pass. No, no, thank you. So I went back to my phone. I was cracking up. I said, girl, you are silly. She said, no, why you think he came my way at her? I'm like, Lord, we went somewhere else. And the dude rolled past me, turned around and rolled back past me real slow. My daughter's like, she ain't interested. And he started laughing. I was like, Decoya? She said, you ain't interested. Moving on. I was like, dang, with these kids, Lord have mercy. I ain't gonna ever date. They said, no, we'll ban you dating, but we're gonna have to pick the person. How y'all pick the people? That's crazy. So anyway, y'all. Damn trip. And my son said he needs to be in the will first before any man say I do to me. He wants to make sure they got a will that they can take care of his mama. And he needs to be included in the will. And something else and something else. I'm sitting here like, what? He's like, yeah, that's the only way that's going to work. I'm sorry. Said, my daddy took care of you. We ain't going to be with nobody that can't take care of my mama. No, we ain't doing that one. I was like, I mean, never mind. Let me get quiet. But why you got to be in the will? Because I'm your son. Trips me out. These kids are tripping. They are a trip. You know, I'm like, oh, Lord have mercy. So, it's weird, y'all. It's weird. And let me just say this. It's a lady that's on YouTube that for some reason when people go in on dark-skinned women, she feels some type of way. Baby, I don't know if I'm older than you or you older than me, but you're going to have to make peace with your skin color. Because I don't think it's nothing better than me, and that's just me. Call me what you want, but no, don't call me late for supper or broke. Call me what you want, because it's what I answer to that matters, not what you call me, And like I said, a self-esteem issue is not something that I ever dealt with. I'm too old to start now. Flaws and all, I love me some me. I love me some me. Yes, I do. And I make no apologies for who I am. You either like me or you don't. That's your problem, not mine. Seems like a you problem, not a me problem. So, I just don't get these women that want value, they want to be validated. They want validation from YouTube. Huh? You don't have it in your life. You don't validate yourself. Honey, look in the mirror. I'm going to tell you, here's an exercise. Yes, and this is from the counselor in me, okay? So now you're speaking to the counselor. This is what you do. You get you a full-length mirror. You stand in the mirror, bucket naked. And I said bucket naked. Look at every dimple you got, every roll you got, every blemish you got, whatever's going on, and find yourself liking what you see. Because guess what? You're not going to get another arm. You're not going to get another stomach. Even if you lose weight, you're still going to have the same stomach. You're not going to get another color. Even if you try to bleach, you're still going to be you. So you need to get in that mirror, look at you bucket naked, and appreciate who you are. Because until you appreciate who you are, you can't expect nobody else to. Take off all them clothes, because that way you ain't got nothing to hide behind. And look in the mirror and say, you know what? This is who I am. I'm going to love me. And if can't nobody value me for me, holla. Seriously. It's a whole lot of older women on this thing that have self-esteem issues. And I feel for them in a way, because it's like, was you never validated? And not just women, it's men too. Were you never validated as a child that you were good enough? And I think that's the difference. Outside of me being spoiled, my family always taught me I was good enough. Good enough for what? Anything. And I, in return, taught my kids that. But when you don't get that validation, you miss a step. And then everything becomes about you. Everything becomes, I don't know about like it because it's, it just becomes a scam and a shame. And I said scam, and I meant that. It becomes a scam and a shame. So you got to really realize you love you. I love me, So yeah, let me see. I love black women, period. Dark skin, light skin, anywhere in between, but I prefer dark skin women. Dark skin woman. Oh, okay, I hear you. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, like I said, I will give my grandmother this. She the one made me okay with my ass. She's the one that did that. Cause I used to think I was a freak. I'm serious. And she was like, what? She broke it down, baby. She said, no, you're unique. You know how many people would love to have that problem? She said, it's not even a problem. It goes back to our history. And she got to breaking it down and telling me this, and this, and, all this and stuff. So, yeah, it is what it is. It is what it is. I'll make no apologies at all. So hold on. This is my son. Hey, son.
Nah, she had hibachi chicken and shrimp chicken
You are
something.
silly. I know, but I'm just gonna get the special, the one with all of it in. But yeah, you got that the last time, didn't you? I'm sorry, y'all. That was my baby boy. He's so crazy. Anywho, so oh yeah, I got 8 more minutes and then I'm out for here. So yes, I forgot what I was saying. But yeah, love on yourself, honey. I know a lot of parents didn't validate their children like they should because they was either too busy working or they had other things going on. And I get it, I understand, especially if you're a single parent. I get it, I understand it. But what I don't like is when people become grown and they keep blaming what their parents did or did not do to be a butt. Oh, she's back. So I just, hold on. Yeah, I just don't like it because you have the ability when you get to a certain age to change whatever you don't like about yourself. And I know a lot of people, have issues with their dads or whatever, but in return, if you think about it, your attribute sometimes is like the one you don't like. See, until you're ready to face that stuff and be real, you'll always do what you claim you don't like to do. You'll always be the person you say you don't like to be because you until you face the person in the mirror and whatever's going on, that's exactly what'll happen. You'll always be that person because you can't skip a lesson. You'll end up going back to it. Those was free lessons. I ain't charge y'all for that. See. So anywho, I am about to get my shoes on because right now I got on my house shoes. I think I want to go Planet Fitness later. So And I found out my bullets is cheap to my gun. I'm going to stack up. What else? What else? What else? What else? I think I will take a picture tomorrow when I go to the movies because I think I'm going to be cutified. So I'm going to take a picture tomorrow and let y'all see. Anyway, y'all, I am about to get out of here so I can go ahead and put on my shoes and get up out of here. I hate this traffic on Friday where I have to go. Ugh, I hate this traffic. But anyway, you all have a blessed evening. And remember, if nobody told you you're intelligent, you are. And if nobody told you they love you, I do. This has been Libra Butterfly Smooches.